Hey guys, how we doing? Back in another video from Totally Not Mark, Dragon Ball Super related, and Dragon Ball Super's crazy, ratings. I can't read the full title, my laptop's being lame. But I'll be honest, I thought when Super was starting that it wouldn't be on for long, and that it would probably get cancelled, because a lot of people were moaning about it at the time. But, let's see what Totally Not Mark has to say about it.
This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Dragon Ball Super had a rough ride. Between recapping the films and its animation melting before our eyes, while I was watching, I was all but certain the show would get cancelled at the earliest convenience.
Oof.
But it didn't. And that's when an idea hit me. What if I found all the Japanese TV ratings for the show and cross-referenced them with Google Trends data and user scores on IMDb to find the episodes that had the biggest impact in Dragon Ball Super's success?
Jesus.
I mean, it sounds like a good idea. And so, to cut a long story short, I found the ratings and made the graph mapping Dragon Ball Super's ratings from start to finish. And there's some surprises in there for sure, but in order to get the most accurate idea of which episodes were the most successful, I will be referencing 3 graphs. The first graph maps the TV ratings I just made.
Right.
The second is an IMDb score graph that maps the scores of every individual episode in the series.
Oh my God.
And the third maps the Google Trends of how the show performed during its time on the air. And so, using this empirical data, I want to take you on a journey to find out together what were the episodes that saved Dragon Ball Super.
Okay, this could be interesting. Oh yeah, the hit fight definitely did. That one, my God, the Kaioken. Oh.
Okay, so let me break down how this is going to work. I have 3 graphs: a TV ratings graph, an IMDb user score graph, and a Google Trends graph. Each of these assigns some rating that accompanies a given episode. I am going to combine the 3 scores a given episode receives to establish what I am calling a popularity score. And so, whichever episode has the biggest popularity score at the end wins. For example, let's take a look at one of the worst performing episodes. Episode 5.
Oof.
The episode received a 5.3 TV rating, a 6.5 IMDb score, and a 2.9 Google Trends score, giving it a popularity score of 14.7. And with that explained, let's start at the beginning. The show kicks off with a bang. Due to the initial hype and expectations, the episode scores high across the board. The Japanese TV ratings are at a 7.9. The episode reviews very well on IMDb with a 7.4, and the Google Trends are substantial also, making this a very well-rounded and very well-received episode, resulting in a popularity score of 19.9.
19.9.
However, as you can probably see, disappointment quickly sets in. By episode 2, the TV ratings nosedive, and trending on Google drastically decreases, resulting in a popularity score of 16.1. Not terrible, but the fatigue of recapping Battle of Gods is telling, as by episode 12, the one where Beerus and Goku clash fists for 20 minutes, the show received the lowest rating thus far. On Japanese TV, the episode received a 4.7. Its Google Trend impact had more than halved since episode 1, and despite it reviewing well on IMDb, it only managed a popularity score of 13.8. Not exactly the stellar comeback many were expecting from one of the most popular
but the recapping the movies was lame.
Around this time, I was almost certain the show would get cancelled. The Battle of Gods arc didn't exactly
I was pretty sure it was going to as well.
And Resurrection F was primed to continue that downward trend. During this time, the anime was showing signs of having an abhorrent production schedule, resulting in animation.
Yeah, the animation was so bad at parts.
In addition to the ratings and all of this, the show suffered on a story front also. The manga was ahead of the anime and it was already covering new material. However, that would soon come to an end. On February 21st, 2016, Dragon Ball Super's anime overtook the manga for the very first time, resulting in the highest TV rating the show received since episode 1, a 7.3. Accompanied by a small uptick in Google Trends and a favorable IMDb score, the episode garnered a 17.3 popularity score. And while the ratings would again dip, they for the most part held higher than the prior 2 arcs.
Yeah, look at that.
That is, until this happened.
Uh-oh. Oh, of course this boosted it. I remember
receiving a
my old
television
job,
rating of 7.2,
everyone was just like,
trending with Google
yo,
at
that was like a
4.1,
Dragon Ball Z
and embracing
episode.
the highest IMDb rating an individual episode received thus far with a score of 8.2.
And everyone was like, oh my god, it felt like watching Dragon Ball Z again.
Super soared to the top of everyone's favorite Super episode list.
Makes sense.
This moment proved that Dragon Ball Super could deliver moments that could compete with Dragon Ball Z, and more importantly, gave Dragon Ball Super some much-needed positive publicity.
Yep.
After how the media across the world lambasted it for its animation. The Universe 6 arc finished shortly after, and overall left fans with a much more optimistic outlook for the future of the series with a stronger TV rating performance. And believe you me, we thought it could only get better from here. Dragon Ball Super's 47th episode shocked the world.
Yeah, man.
After strong promotion for this arc with teasers and interviews with Akira Toriyama, episode 47 claimed the highest TV rating the series had ever received and would ever receive by far, with an 8.4. In addition to reviewing well on IMDb and creating buzz online as represented by Google Trends, the episode garnered a fantastic popularity
so
score
good.
of 19.8. And yes, while that popularity rating was still slightly lower than the all-time high set by episode 1, the show had clearly reached a new standard and was well on its way to surpassing that average popularity score, with installments like episode 50 performing very well compared with the rest of the series. The animation schedule, while still incredibly tough on the production staff, was no longer showing the signs of confidence that prior arcs were so prominently demonstrating, culminating in episode 66, the big finish for the arc. Despite showing signs of viewer fatigue with a somewhat mediocre TV rating of 6.6, it also enjoyed a massive IMDb score of 8.2, tying it with episode 39 in being the highest rated individual episode of the entire series thus far.
Oh, what a moment. Everyone was buzzing about that.
The Black arc reignited a fire within the fandom. And with having claimed the highest TV rating the series had enjoyed, as well as tying the highest IMDb user rating, it surely was only a matter of time before a new high popularity score would be made. Now, this is typically where I would have skipped ahead to the Universe Survival arc, but during the filler portion of the series that followed the Future Trunks arc, something no one saw coming happened.
Really?
It popped a really high rating, a 7.6.
Which one?
To help put that into perspective, that is a higher rating than all of Resurrection F and Universe 6. It's a rating so high, only 2 other episodes beat it in the entire series.
Yeah, but
Episode 1, which barely counts, and episode 47. This episode received a higher rating
Which episode?
than episode 39 and 66, the widely praised climaxes of the prior 2 arcs. And the episode that achieved that rating was this one. This episode, centered around Krillin and Goku's training, was a major nostalgic throwback for a multitude of reasons. It kicked things off with a fight between Goku and Gohan, followed it up with another fight between Goku and Krillin, and featured characters that otherwise wouldn't have had a prominent role in the series, like 18 and Master Roshi. However, it is important to note that during this week, ratings across the board were up significantly, so its success could be for a multitude of reasons. However, to this day, this episode's action and emotional segments cement it as one of my personal favorites, and I'm happy to see others enjoyed it too.
Good throwbacks to Dragon Ball,
the Universe Survival arc came into full swing, with an all-new opening theme song and animation. It was clear that Toei was going all out for this particular arc. Episodes like 80, 95, and 100, while not performing as strongly as expected in the TV ratings department, they outperformed the vast majority of the series in terms of IMDb score and Google Trends data, resulting in some solid popularity scores. To help put this in perspective, the Universe Survival arc reviewed so well that if you were to rank the top 20 best rated episodes in Dragon Ball Super on IMDb, the Universe Survival arc would account for 18 of the top 20 spots on the list, with only episodes 39 and 66 edging their way in. But for whatever reason, ratings across the board were down during this time period. And it wasn't just for Dragon Ball Super. Every other show, including One Piece, was down considerably, resulting in some of the lowest ratings the series had ever received consistently. And looking at these ratings, you would think that most people would no longer be watching or even care about Dragon Ball. However, nothing could be further from the truth.
Oh, wow. Whoa.
Despite poor ratings in Japan, the stellar reviews on IMDb, and the enormous social media activity across the world, including Japan, surrounding the final episodes was nothing short of astounding.
Boom.
With the final
Ultra
episode,
Instinct.
131, achieving the highest IMDb rating in the series' history with an impressive 8.7, and the
Nice.
second highest Google Trends score of 7.5, creating an enormous popularity score of 21.9. Dragon Ball Super very much finished on a high, but the series finale wasn't the biggest difference maker. It almost was, but one other episode, or should I say special, beat it by a hair. What I think is particularly interesting about this special is that while it was hugely successful everywhere else, it also provided Dragon Ball Super with the lowest rating the series ever saw on TV, with a meager 3.5. This was by no means a reflection of the episode's quality, but more so a reflection of Toei's poor time slot selection. While Dragon Ball Super aired during this time, Super Sentai and Kamen Rider aired in their new time slots alongside one another. These are all Toei Animation shows, which resulted in all of their ratings tanking as viewership was divided between the various properties.
Why would they do
However,
that?
more than anything else, I think this serves to prove a point. The age of television is quite evidently coming to an end. While Dragon Ball Z was on the air, shows across the board had more than 4 times the viewership they have now. People are clearly moving to different platforms to watch their favorite shows. For instance, while Dragon Ball Super was on the air, it was one of, if not the highest streamed show on Crunchyroll. And as Dragon Ball Super's popularity seemed to wane on TV, it skyrocketed online as seen on these Google Trends. And do you see that massive spike? That was Dragon Ball Super's television special and the quote, lowest TV rated episode in the show's history. It was so popular it crashed Crunchyroll's servers.
I remember that. I remember trying to watch it.
To watch Dragon Ball Super. So
I
now
was
that you're
fuming.
up to date with the ratings,
Absolutely
this
fuming.
is where things get really interesting. It's time to find out which of these 5 options you thought was the most important part of Dragon Ball Super's success. Cast your vote right now. Was it episode 39, 47, 66, 131, or the special? I'm excited to find out which of these you thought was the most important, and if your favorite episode wasn't on this list, leave a comment down below and I'll be sure to read it. Crunching the numbers on all of
Kaioken
this
moment was
extremely
amazing,
fun,
though.
interesting, and I hope you
Was
enjoyed
amazing.
going down the rabbit hole of Dragon Ball Super, the episodes that saved a series.
That was class. That was really good. Really interesting. Like, that random episode with Goku and Krillin's like one of the highest rated, like, episodes. It's like, what? And it is interesting to show that, like, the TV ratings compared to, like, the Google Trends ones is completely different at times. That is a bit of an indication that, like, yeah, people aren't watching it on telly anymore. But yeah, and I do remember trying to watch that episode on Crunchyroll. I was fuming. It was simulcast, like, for the hour we're in it, so I was literally on the time it was meant to be on. Refreshing, kept coming up with errors, and I was just like, ah! But, yeah. Thank you guys very much for watching. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of this? Click like, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave comments down below. Let me know what to watch, discuss in future videos. And I'll see you guys. Later down.